Gun violence continues to plague the world's biggest democracy as several people were killed and wounded in yet another killing spree orchestrated by a gunman. The latest incident of gun violence has occurred in the posh city of Dallas in Texas, just outside a shopping mall where at least 8 people were shot dead while many others were left injured. The incident has yet again shifted attention to this trending social ill as mass shootings have become commonplace in the United States, with at least 198 such cases reported since January this year. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. The budget session indulges in a blame game on the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. Ruling lawmakers demand a probe on the then Prime Minister. CPN-UML Chair Olik challenges to take action. Priorities of the new budget presented at the Parliament. Budget discussions to begin tomorrow. Experts call for business-friendly budget. Poor tourism infrastructure comes to the fore across the country. Even the federal capital lacks facilities including information centers and toilets. And Machindra FC climbed to the 4th position in the A Division League with their 5th consecutive victory, go past Armed Police Force 2-1. Army and Sankata draw 1-1. The budget session of the House of Representatives has begun from today. On the first day of the budget session today, the lawmakers have raised an alarm at the alleged involvement of high-profile leaders and government officials in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. CPN-UML lawmakers have demanded that the culprits should be brought to book if they are found guilty of corruption at any level or sector. CPN-UML Chief Whip Padam Giri said that the government should investigate all the cases of corruption, including the latest case of fake Bhutanese refugee scam. Meanwhile, lawmakers of CPN Maoist Center have urged CPN-UML to assist the police administration in the handover of CPN-UML Secretary Top Bahadur Raimaji, who has been alleged in the Bhutanese refugee scam. Some of the ruling lawmakers, indicating at CPN-UML Chair KP Sharma Oli, viewed that the former Prime Minister should also be investigated. Meanwhile, CPN-UML lawmakers also raised the issue of the citizenship bill, citing that efforts were on to endorse the bill. Meanwhile, the Finance Minister tabled the appropriation bill for the endorsement of the new budget, as the budget-related discussions will commence from tomorrow. The main agenda of the House session that convened from today is to endorse the new budget on 15th of Jesta as per the Nepali calendar. Experts have maintained that if the stakeholders can play a constructive role, the budget session can lead to the new budget, which will see a good coordination between financial and monetary policies. In the first 10 months of the ongoing fiscal year, the government's revenue collection has reached 723 billion rupees, while its expenses has crossed 1 trillion rupees. The revenue collection has been hit hard as it is limited to 51%, with the confidence of the private sector seriously hampered. The experts have therefore called upon the government to introduce liberal monetary policy. They opine that a stable monetary and financial policy can only improve the national economy. The government target of roping in foreign investment has also been limited to 50%. The government has also been reduced to collecting internal loan to feed salaries to the employees, while there are reports of pension funds being halted. In the absence of adequate fund, works of infrastructure development have been hugely impacted. There are speculations that the government will have to reimburse about 400 billion rupees to the operational projects. Meanwhile, with the subsequent government's inclination for distributive budget in the past 10 years, the government is facing difficulty in managing expenses. Nearly 13% of the budget is spent on covering social welfare schemes for just over 3.7 million, mainly elderly citizens. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces what should be the priority of the new budget at the time of economic crisis. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
शिक्षा र स्वास्थ्यमा बढी फोकस दिनुपर्ने स्थिति छ।
कृषिमा बढी जोड दिनुपर्ने,
जो उर्दू पढाइदिने अरबी पढाइदिने त्यसको लागि बजेट माथिबाटै केन्द्रबाट नै छुट्याएर आउनु पर्यो।
आयातलाई घटाउने र कृषि उत्पादनलाई बढाउने
बजेट चाहिँ समय सान्दर्भिक हुनु पर्यो।
कृषकहरूलाई प्राथमिकता दिनु पर्यो किनभने गाउँघरमा खेतबारीहरू बाँझा भइसके।
स्थानीय स्रोत साधनको अधिकतम परिचालन हुने खालको
कृषिमा नै विशेष जोड दिनु पर्यो।
अब आउने बजेट यो युवा लक्षित हुनु पर्यो।
रोजगार दिलाउने खाले हुनु पर्यो।
करको दर सामान्य भन्दा सामान्य एकदम थोरै हुनुपर्छ।
पर्यटन क्षेत्रमा लगानी गर्ने खालका नीतिहरू ल्याउन सके।
रोजगारमूलक हुनु पर्यो।
सिपमूलक रोजगार केन्द्रित
व्यापार व्यवसायलाई उत्थान गर्न सहुलियत दिनु पर्यो।
Every government and every tourism minister does not miss out on saying that the country will gain economic prosperity through tourism. In the name of tourism infrastructure development, various projects have been in operation since more than 50 years. However, Kathmandu, despite being the federal capital and a relatively high tourist turnout, still lacks infrastructure. The capital has failed to manage information centers, toilets, among others, at tourist areas. It has been 73 years since tourists started to arrive in Nepal. The tourism sector has an important contribution to the country's economy. However, main tourism cities lack the construction of minimum infrastructures. Tourist areas in the capital like Basantapur, Swayambhu, Pashupatinath, Bodha, Patan, Bhaktapur lack infrastructures including toilets, parking and information centers. Mayor of Kathmandu Municipality, Balin Shah, who had won the mayoral race with landslide victory last year, had assured of making the capital a green city and facilitating toilets in the city. After claiming victory, Mayor Balin initiated some of the programs he had assured of. However, they failed to gain momentum. The first tourism infrastructure development project was initiated in Nepal in 1972 through the cooperation of the government of Germany. The second project was initiated in 1990 with the assistance of Asian Development Bank. Likewise, the Tourism Infrastructure Development Project was established through the budget of the Nepali fiscal year 2065-66. Billions of rupees has been spent for tourism promotion in the name of infrastructure development in tourist areas. However, tourists in the capital are still facing difficulties. Construction of heritage sites has not completed even after 8 years since the 2015 April earthquake. Although the government has a target of tourism sector contributing 10% to the total gross domestic production in the next 10 years, it does not have any concrete plan. All three tiers of the government are claiming the income generated from the tourism sector. However, the construction of infrastructures and their development are sluggish. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal held talks with President Ramchandra Paudel today regarding the citizenship bill. Prime Minister Dahal had reached the official residence of the President in Shital Niwas this morning. Premier Dahal urged President Paudel to approve the citizenship bill that was endorsed by both the houses of the parliament without making any amendments. President Paudel has held consultations with legal experts today in this regard at Shital Niwas. Meanwhile, Law Minister Dhanaraj Gurung, after receiving a suggestion letter from legal practitioners today, said that the government is serious on concluding the issue of the citizenship bill soon. Law Minister Gurung informed that the government would move ahead on the issue as soon as the office of the president moves forward the process. The current ruling coalition is making preparations to forward the citizenship bill endorsed by both houses of the parliament without making any amendments during the tenure of the previous government. Meanwhile, the leaders of the ruling coalition had held a meeting with legal experts and office bearers of Nepal Bar Association at the official residence of the Prime Minister in Balwatar to request for their suggestion regarding the citizenship bill. The citizenship bill, endorsed by both houses of the parliament, was sent to Shital Niwas for the approval of the president during the tenure of the previous government. However, the bill was stalled after then-President Bidya Devi Bhandari refused to authenticate it. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Poll.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what is the reason behind the ineffectiveness of commission formed to empower the marginalized community? 57% voted for A, leadership's weakness, 40% voted for B, confusion in identifying problems, and 3% voted for C, lack of budget. And here's today's question. Why do you think the practice of providing Nepali citizenships to non-Nepali nationals not stopped? Your options are A, feeble action, B, a nexus of government employees, and C, due to open border. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us.
Sports news.
Machindra Football Club extended their undefeated streak to 5 matches at the Martyrs Memorial A Division League as they edged past Armed Police Force 2-1. In the match played at Dashrath Stadium in Tripurashar today, APF were unable to hold on to the lead. Arman Bedum had opened the scoring for APF in the 36th minute. Machindra scored in the first half injury time to equalize. The goal scorer was Omalaja Karim, who scored off a free kick from 35 yards. The decisive goal came at the fag end as Machindra scored in the injury time of the second half to clinch full points. Olawale Afiz rose up to head a cross sent by Diwakar Chaudhary to clinch the match for Machindra, who have climbed to the 4th position in the points table, having collected 24 points from 15 matches. In another match, Tribhuvan Army Club were forced to settle for a 1-1 draw after they conceded a goal against Sankata Club in the second half injury time. Japanese giants Urawa Red Diamonds have won the Asian Championships League with a 2-1 aggregate win over defending champions Al Hilal. This was the 3rd championship win registered by the Japanese giants Urawa Reds, who won the second leg final 1-0. The match was attended by just over 53,000 spectators in Japan's Saitama Stadium. The first match was dominated by the visiting Al Hilal club. However, they were unlucky as they wasted a number of opportunities. The home side proved lucky in the second half as they got the decisive goal in the form of an own goal. The first leg final between the two sides had ended 1-1. The Japanese giants Urawa Reds lifted the title for the 3rd time since winning the coveted championship in 2007 and 2017. Al Hilal have won the championship on 4 occasions. It's time now for the weather update.